All right, welcome everybody to the Monday Momentum Call. My name is Jeremy Jenkins, and it is a pleasure, as always, to be able to share with you some of the wisdom that I've been able to pick up over the years in doing networking and relationship marketing. Tonight's topic, as you can see, is 10 steps to success. Now, in my over 25 years of doing this kind of thing, online marketing and team building and relationship building, my first 10 years, I struggled. I struggled a lot. I was in, some traditional type companies, and I didn't have a lot of mentorship. I didn't have a lot of people that were guiding me. I got involved. I fell in love with the concept. I fell in love with this idea that you can make residual income, that you can make money while you sleep, all those kinds of things. My father, he actually, when we were growing up, he was a civil engineer. And I just remember he would, make his normal salary, but he would always have to do little side jobs to kind of make ends meet or to, take us on vacations or different things. And then I remember all of a sudden one day, he decided to do something a little crazy. He got together with a couple of his friends from college, right? College buddies, and they decided to start their own business. It was their own civil engineering firm. And he went from making about $50,000 a year on his salary to making $500,000 a year as a business owner. And it had a huge effect on me. And I asked my dad, how did you do that? And he said, well, it's called leverage. It's something where instead of making money just on what I'm doing, now I get to make money on what the entire business does and all the efforts of everyone, all my employees and everything. And it changed his life. And he and my mom have had a much better and easier life since then. And I've tried to apply those lessons in my own life. And eventually, I did get a mentor who taught me these 10 steps. Right, it was something that once I started to apply these 10 steps in my own online endeavors, it was night and day. It was all of a sudden I made that first six-figure income. I actually did have the opportunity to go and travel, go throughout Latin America and all across the world because it started to work. Right, it started to work, and I've been able to, with these methods, these 10 steps, right, that I'm going to share with you tonight. I've been able to create teams in the tens and even hundreds of thousands, and it's been really, really fun. So, that being said, we're going to dive into this and really understand how we can apply these 10 steps to success with your business. And what does it matter if you're a networking expert or if you're just brand new getting started with this. I think everybody can take what I'm going to share here tonight and either remember, because these steps are universal, right? These are tried and true principles. Or if you're brand new, you can just go ahead and write these down and make sure you're sharing them with your team and the people that you bring to the table, because they will have success also if they follow. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about step number one. What is step number one? It is defining your why. Your why has to be more powerful than your why not. Okay. Why do we say that? Why do I bring that up? Why is this step number one? It is because what we do is not just easy and simple and you just go plug in and next thing you know you're making all this money, right? No, it doesn't happen like that. It is a roller coaster. There are good days, there are bad days, there are wonderful times where people are doing stuff and things are exciting and the company makes announcements and things are great. And then there are other times when there's delays and things break and people quit on you and all of that. So if you don't have a why that's more powerful than your why not, then most likely you will end up either quitting or giving up, right? And so we don't want that. Now, it's much more here's the thing that's super important to understand. Defining your why has to be so much more than just a general concept of, oh, I want to pay off my credit cards, or, oh, I want to pay off my house, right? Crush my mortgage, right? Generalities, right? It's more than just, oh, I want to go travel and, go to the beach and that kind of stuff. It's not good enough. That kind of a why might get you started, but it's not going to keep you going in the hard times, right? So what keeps you going is when it's specific. You have to be specific to you and define it and have it just ingrained in your brain. This is my why. So what's my personal? This is me, Jeremy, my why. I have yet to go see the pyramids in Egypt. That's been my why for over a decade. And I still haven't been able to do it yet. So I'm going to do it. That is my why. That is one of the things very specific to me. And I see this picture and I say, yes, I'm going to ride a camel and I'm going to go see the pyramids. And I'm going to sit in that Pizza Hut that's right across where you can see the pyramids right outside the window of the Pizza Hut, right? They're in Cairo. I mean, it's so defined. I already know what it's going to be like to be there. Okay. That is part of my why. Another piece of my why is I don't want just, oh, I want to get a new car. The car I drive, it's not that great or what. No, I know what car I'm getting, right? I'm getting the Chevy Colorado, and it's got to be that blue that you're seeing right there. Okay. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to have, the heated seats and the little dash thing that's got all the connections on it, and it's got to have the basic where it almost drives itself kind of stuff, right? That is my why right there. I see that every time I see a Chevy Colorado when I'm driving around. I'm like, there it is, there it is. That's my car, and my wife knows it, my kids know it, and that is what I'm going to achieve as we continue to grow this amazing business that we have, right, Finmore. It's going to make this why a reality, right? But then, you know what happens? You get to a point where, okay, I've got the new car, I've got my vacation, right? I went to see the pyramids and everything, but what's going to keep me going after that, right? And here's the other thing: is the giving back piece. This is what I want to do. This is my motivation. I want to be able to go to a village in Africa or a village in South America somewhere, and I want to help build a school or build a well so that the kids can have clean, fresh water. So they don't have to walk for 2 miles with buckets to just get some water for the day, right? That is what drives me. That is my why. That's what I want to do. And I asked my wife what she wanted, and she wrote it down. She said, I want to do a rescue for dogs and cats, right, in Mexico City. That's her why. That's why she lets me do this. That's why she's like, yeah, okay, sacrificing away from family time to go do the Monday momentum. And it's because she knows that eventually we'll get to that point where we will be able to go and not only have my why, but hers, right? And she'll be able to start that rescue and rescue the dogs and cats in the streets of Mexico City. And it will be an amazing, amazing experience. So we have to make our vision so clear, okay, that our fears become irrelevant. When we do that, now we can go to the next step. Now we can go on to step 2, which is this. Okay, we've decided, right? We've chosen our vehicle. We're here at Finmore. Why? Because we want more, right? We want more of all the things, and we know that the products and services and the banking, all those things, right? We chose our vehicle. We love our compensation plan. Everything's great, okay? And our Finmore store and all that stuff, right? We've chosen that because we feel like it is the best vehicle to get us there. Okay. So now what do? Step 2 is to launch, right? Is to launch our biz. Now, what does that mean? Some people love to do the old school method. Other people love to do what we would call new school, maybe, right? So what does that mean? I think there's value in both. Okay. I know there's some people that prefer one over the other. but I really have come to this, the understanding that you really got to apply both sides to it. And what does that mean? Well, in the olden days, right, the old school would mean creating a list of names. That's what you just start out with. You create your list of names and you decide who are your ride and die people, who are your generals, right? Who are the people that you really want to be in business with, and you start with them, and then you figure out the rest of the people that you could potentially invite, and you decide who you want, that those first three people that you got to go and build with, right? And then who could be your potential customers, all that kind of stuff. Of course, that's how you start. Okay. But then you also do what we would call the new school, which is the attraction marketing, the magnetic marketing. It's using the tools of the internet, okay, using the tools of social media and putting up what I like to call the lighthouse. Now, what is that? What is this lighthouse marketing concept? Well, think of it this way. A lot of times, if you think back into the old days when lighthouses were actually a thing, right? They actually served a purpose. It was this, okay, before the lighthouse was up, when boats would come into the harbor, right, especially during a storm or whatever, what would happen? Well, those boats, they would have a hard time getting to the shore, and they might crash against the rocks. And so then what would the people on the shore have to do? They'd have to go get a rowboat, row out, rescue the sailors, like pull them into the rowboat, row back to the shore. And it was tiring and it was just frustrating. And you get to the point where you're like, oh man, I'm just tired. I don't know if I can do this anymore, right? And it wasn't the most ideal. The most ideal was to put up a lighthouse that attracted the boats in, and they could see where they needed to go so they didn't crash in the first place, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're creating our own lighthouse where we can attract in people, right? Instead, because it gets tiring having to go out and recruit and recruit and recruit and talk to people and get rejected. It's so much better if you can pull them in, if you can attract people, whether they're customers or fellow business builders, right? It doesn't matter either way. And you bring them to you because you are attractive, because you come across professionally, because you are somebody that they might want to work with because of what you're putting out there, right? You're creating content, you're creating value, okay? And so that's one of the things I love about what we have here at Finmore is we have leaders that teach both sides of this, right? We have leaders that teach the old school methods. We have leaders that are teaching the new school stuff and how to run social media and everything. And I love it. And we can adapt both sides and really turn on that magnet, right? We can use that social media to create a following, to attract way more than we would if we were offline trying to just talk to people at the supermarket or trying to put up flyers or handing out business cards and stuff, right? Not that that's not a good thing. I mean, we want to go all out, right? We want the thing on our car. We want the business cards. We want the flyers. We want all of that. But we also want our Facebook profile and our LinkedIn profile and our Instagram or whatever it is we want to use, right? We want to do everything we can. And it all comes down to just learning it and understanding it. So if we can do that, then yes, we can attract people in, right? So here's how I see it. I see it as you use the social media and you use the lighthouse to attract the people. But then once you've got their attention, right? Once you've shared with them the message, once you've now, kind of either sent them a video or you've gotten them on a Zoom or whatever it is, okay, now you pull them into the fold, right? Now you do that in-home meeting. Now you go out to lunch together. Now you create that one-on-one relationship. Now you do the belly to belly, right? It's not that one is better than the other or they're mutually exclusive or anything. No, the lighthouse brings in the masses, and then you filter out the ones that are going to say yes and that want to do it, and then you bring them into the family, right? And you do those one-on-ones and you sit down with them and you get to know them and you do the barbecue or you do the, whatever it is to create and cement that relationship. Okay. That's how you launch your business. And the sooner you can do it, the better, right? So And we won't go into all the details of how you do that. There's plenty of other training out there that we've already received that we can, tap into, but that's the bottom line. Now that we've started that part, now we've created our team, we've found our first 3 people we want to work with, we started bringing in some customers and everything, we set up our Facebook profile, we're coming across as professionals. Now we're going to start doing goals, okay? And that is the short term, medium term, and long term goals, right? And whatever that means to you, it goes back to your why, of course. And I need my Chevy Colorado, right? I need to have money to go on my trip to Egypt. All those things. Those are maybe your long-term goals. So how do you do it? Short-term goals, right? That now comes down to the daily method of operation stuff that we got to do, right? And so specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound goals that we can do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that will get us to the long-term goals. Okay. But one thing that's super important is when you're setting these goals, you need to do it on something that depends on you, not on something that's outside your control. Like you can't set a goal, or you shouldn't set a goal that, oh, I'm going to sign up 3 new people this week. Well, that doesn't depend on you, right? You could talk to 100 people and just have the bad luck that all of them said no that week. So if you didn't sign up 3 people, now you feel like a failure. Don't do that. Don't set a goal that's based on somebody else's free will, right? You set a goal that's based on stuff you can do. So, for example, I'm going to talk to 10 people today. I'm going to send out one of the videos to 5 people today. I'm going to try and talk to 20 people and get them on the Zoom overview, right? That way you can, at the end of the day, go back and say, did I invite 20 people? Did I talk to 10 people? Did I do those things? Because that's on you, right? Not on anybody else. So if you do that, then you can hold yourself accountable and make sure that you're doing it right. Now, the other thing to just remember always is that a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? You got to have a plan. You've got to set, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it doesn't have to just be about maybe inviting people or that. It could be personal development. It could be, I'm going to read a chapter in a book every day. I'm going to watch a video from some leader every day. I'm going to make sure I'm plugged in. I'm going to go to all the Zooms this week, right? I'm going to attend the Saturday training, or if I can't be there, I'm going to watch the recording, whatever it is. Okay. You decide what your goal is, but then it's on you, right? You did it or you didn't do it. And then, of course, why do goals matter? Because the simple truth is your team can't achieve a goal if they don't know about it. They don't know what the goal is, okay? So this leads us into not just personal goals, but team goals, right? And you work with your team and you say, hey, this is what we're going to do together, because 69% of people who set goals are more successful, okay? 69% of high-performing companies rank communicating business goals company-wide as the most effective and important way to build a high-performing team. So you got to share what your goal is. That's another important piece of this, is don't just keep it to yourself. Have some accountability, right? Have an accountability partner, whether it's your team. You're going to announce, hey, our team goal is to invite 5 people every day and have, invite so many people to be on the Zooms and to whatever it is. You come up with it as a team and you kind of, do recognition, right? And say, oh, who did it? Who invited 5? Who invited 10? Who, whatever. And maybe even give rewards, right, for those that achieve the goals. All kinds of fun things you can do with not just your personal goals, but your team goals as well. All right, step 4, commitment. So motivation will get you started, right? Your why will get you started, but the commitment is what keeps you going. And you have to think of it, the way I think about this commitment step is the marriage vow, right? And we all have heard the marriage vow. It's been repeated 1,000 times in movies and wherever, right? That in sickness and in health, right? In richer and in poorer, and in the bad times and the good times, whatever, till what? till death do us part, right? Till the end. How serious is that? That's super serious, okay? And that's the kind of commitment you need to have. You need to be able to say, I'm committed to doing this. I'm committed to my why, right? Now, and you may not have to say, oh, I'm super, diehard, committed to the specific company, right? No, maybe not. But what you can do is say, hey, you know what? I'm committed to my why. I'm committed to my dream. I'm committed to my team. And here's the vehicle we've chosen. And we're committed. We're going to do it until either the company dies or we die, right? One of the two. Okay. And you keep going because commitments means staying loyal to what you said you're going to do long after the mood you set it in has left, right? Because we're not always super excited about things because the bad stuff happens. We go back to our why, we remember, and we go, oh, yeah, we recommit, and away we go. Okay. So commitment, super, super important. We can't be distracted, right? We can't just be like jumping around. Oh, okay, no, I think I'll go try this one now or try that one. No, if you do that, you're going to guarantee failure. Okay. Stick with it because the people on your team will see it, right? People will see your commitment, and that's who people want to follow. If you want to be a leader, you can't be going all over the place, right? People don't want wishy-washy leaders. They want somebody that's committed. They want to know, oh, they're 100%. Okay, I will do it. And you want your people to be 100%. So they're going to follow your example. Okay. So commitment is super key. All right. Step number 5 now, personal development. As I mentioned, it could be one of your goals to read some of these books. These are just a few examples, right? A few of my favorites: How to Win Friends and Influence People, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Oh my goodness, that one is like definitely my favorite. Slight Edge, Jeff Olson, mind-blowing stuff, right? It's out there. All these amazing mentors and people that just, there's the information for the taking. You just got to say, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to read it and I'm going to apply it in my life. Why? Because Jim Rohn said it best. If you want to have more, you have to become more. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to become better. If you improve, everything will improve for you. If you grow, your money will grow, your relationships, your health, your business, and every external effect will mirror that growth in equal correlation. Wow. Jim Rohn was a master. I love that quote from him. And then, of course, more information from the famous Zig Ziglar. What you get by reaching your destination is not nearly as important as what you will become by reaching your destination. So personal development, becoming that millionaire person requires becoming a $1 million, or to get the $1 million check, you got to be the $1 million person, right? That's another Jim Rohn thing that he always said, because it's true. I mean, people that have made $1 million once in their life, they can go do it again lots of time because they are that $1 million person. They know how to do it now, right? So that is the goal. Become that $1 million person, and you will attract the $1 million. Now, step number 6, super important as well. It goes hand in hand with the commitment piece. Okay, plugging in. What does that mean? It means if you're serious about your why, if you're serious about going on that special vacation you want to go on, or you're serious about getting whether it's a Chevy Colorado or whatever car you want to drive, right? If you're serious about helping kids in Africa have clean water, then you're going to make the sacrifice. You're going to plug in, and that does mean being on the Monday momentum calls. It means being on the Zooms. It means being on the Saturday trainings. It means going to local events when we have them, right? It means making sure that you are connected and plugged in so that you can always have the latest information. You can always know what's going on, so you can be recharged. You can feel the energy from the other leaders that are out presenting and teaching and everything, right? and it helps you to avoid shiny object syndrome. You don't know what that is, think squirrel, right? It's like, oh, something bad happened, something got delayed, something didn't happen like I wanted, they made a change here, whatever. And so next thing you know, oh, there's another little shiny object over there. It looks like it might be easier to make money or whatever. But you know what happens? Mm-mm. No, there's no magic bullet. There's no magic company. There's no magic thing that's going to all of a sudden, make you rich overnight, right? No, that doesn't exist. Okay. The only thing that gets you rich overnight is it's that phrase, right? They say, yeah, it took me a lifetime to be an overnight success, right? It's applying these 10 steps that you're learning tonight, that is what will help you be successful. Now, if you just decide for whatever reason that another vehicle is better for you, okay, you're still going to have to go and do these 10 steps in that vehicle versus spend more. But there's nothing else out there that's just a quick fix. It doesn't exist, right? The law of the harvest is real. You have to plant, you have to cultivate, and then you can harvest at the end. It doesn't happen just overnight. Okay. So plug in and you will be successful. Step 7 is learning how to invite. So learning how to invite, that's probably one of the hardest things. Now that you've got, your why and your team and you're setting goals and all those things, right? One of the best things you can do is to learn how to just talk to people, how to share the message with those around you. And whether that's the old school methods or it's the new school with your lighthouse that you built, right? Your YouTube channel and your Instagram channel and your Facebook profile or whatever, right? You're getting a following, okay? Whatever that is, you still have to talk to people because that's what they pay us for, right? That's the whole idea, is that we're getting paid because we're bringing people to the table. That's really the bottom line. And so what you have to do, so if you remember, if you're a little nervous about what to say when you're talking to people, just remember the form method. You can talk about family, occupation, recreation, and then give the message, right? Oh, hey, how's your family? Or, who's your spouse, whatever, how many kids, that kind of thing. What do you do for a living, right? What do you like to do for fun, that kind of stuff. And then you say, oh, hey, you know what? I bet you I've got something that could really help with any of those things, right? Like, oh man, it sounds like you like to go on trips with your family. Yeah, hey, I've got something that can save you money on your next vacation, right? Or, oh wow, it sounds like you're making money doing whatever. Hey, you know what? I've got something that could help supplement that income, right? So the form method is really good because you can tie in the message of what we do at Finmore really easy, okay? But then the other thing, the other side to inviting people is you need to be absolutely 100% sure that what you're sharing is the answer, right? It is a solution to the problems that they might be facing, whether it's a shortage of money, whether it's because they're fighting against the headwinds, like I like to say, right? They're fighting against the inflation and the high interest rates, and the groceries are twice what they cost 10 years ago, and all that stuff, right? Like whatever it is, we have a solution and we believe in it because we've experienced it ourselves. We've used the product, we've used the Fincrest, we've used the services, we know that they work. And so we can say, we have the cookie. Okay, that's what this chocolate chip cookie represents, is we have the cookie, we have the solution, we have something that really will bless your life, whether you want to do it as a customer or if you want to do it as a business owner, it doesn't matter, right? Both will bring you real value. Both will help you have extra buying power. Both will help you to fight back against those economic problems that we all face, right? Because we have an amazing vehicle that consists of one of the most amazing rewards programs on the planet and all the stuff, right? We have the cookie, and it literally is the most universal thing you could ever imagine because it's not based on just more niche type products, right? It's not a very oh, okay, this is a targeted thing of, oh, this is a weight loss product, or this is a skincare product, or this is a it addresses maybe pain management, or maybe it addresses whatever, right? Like there are all these different products out there, and it's not that they're bad, not that they're bad products or that they don't benefit some people, It's just that they're not super universal. There is absolutely nothing more universal than swiping a card and getting rewarded for it, because it literally is for everyone. Young people, old people, male, female, right? Rich, poor, doesn't matter. Everybody knows how to use a card and swipe it and get rewarded for it. That is like the most universal thing you could ever imagine. And you could, if you get rewarded for that, it benefits everyone. Everyone, literally everyone. We have the cookie. We have it. Okay. It's not a, oh, well, that person, they don't need to lose weight. They're already super skinny, right? Or, oh, that person, they're already super beautiful. They don't need, the skincare product, right? Or that person, like, no, we don't have to deal with any of that. This is like literally the most amazing, wow thing you could ever imagine. We have the cookie. And so when you believe that, when you understand that, when you talk to people, they're going to hear it in your voice. They're going to see it in your eyes. They're going to know we got something special, right? And that is the key ingredient. Because in the end, you probably all heard this, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And the other phrase I really like to say to do is, it's not the words, it's the music. Write that down. It's not the words, it's the music. When you are excited about what we have, when you realize, wow, you can save money on buying laundry detergent, and you can save money on your next vacation, and you can save, right? It doesn't matter how you say it. People will want it because of your enthusiasm, because of the music, the way you said it. Okay. That is the key. People are always asking, oh, is there a script, or is there all these things that I can share with people? And yeah, of course, we'll have all that stuff for people that, okay, copy and paste some script or whatever that may be a little bit more, better worded. But in the end, it doesn't matter how you or what you say, it's how you say it and the belief that you have in what we're sharing that will make the difference. Okay. All right. So that takes us to learning the biz, because this will also give you the confidence that we have the cookie. And this is the 5-star opportunity. I like to call it the 5-star opportunity whenever we're rating stuff. It could be we're rating a hotel or a restaurant or a movie or whatever, right? They all have, okay, 1 to 5 stars or whatever on Amazon, right? Products, you can rate them up to 5 stars. So what are the 5 stars that we're working with here? Well, we're working with the company itself, the leaders, the products, the compensation, and the timing, right? So talk about company, right? Company, I mean, oh my goodness. Who do we know that's, the owner? Oh, wow, Mr. Peter Rancy, right? Okay, that's awesome. Who else do we know? Okay, Jared Moss, right? We got, Mr. John McKillop, like the whole corporate team is just amazing. Melinda Campbell, mind blown, right? Like, what is the concept and what are they trying to accomplish? And, this whole idea of having a positive social impact and everything, you cannot be steered wrong with the company, right? It's not some fly by night thing. It's not something based out of Dubai that's based on a cryptocurrency that nobody's ever heard of, right? And all that. No, we're talking, we know exactly who the owners are, where they're at, what it's all about, legally registered, all those things, right? So you can believe in the company. Number 2, the leaders. Who are the leaders, right? Like, oh my goodness. Who are the leaders that we have? Some of the top names in our entire industry involved, and they're giving of their time and their energy freely to all of us to teach us and mentor us and everything. Like, you seriously cannot go anywhere else to find better training and mentorship and whatever than you got here. Then the product, like I mentioned, what other product could give more value and be more universal than what we offer? There's just not anything out there. There's just not, right? I mean, it's just we are so amazing in that aspect, from everything. Like, again, I said before, rich or poor, right? I mean, we can attract the top, money makers out there because they can see the value here. We can attract the brand new person to know nothing just because they can save money on their next vacation or on their next set of paper towels, right? Like, it's the most amazing product on the planet. And then the compensation, right? I mean, of all the compensation models I've ever seen, I can honestly say that this is the most amazing molded compensation plan I've ever been able to be a part of. from Malin, who helped put it all together, and the rest of the leadership that come in and help mold this thing, it really does drive the correct behavior so that people can make money. And it's not too complicated, but it's complicated enough to motivate you to go and stretch, right? Like that is a key word, and stretch. We want people to stretch a little bit. We don't want them to do just the bare minimum. We don't want them to just, sit back and think that, they can make money overnight with hardly any effort. No, we need people to do a little bit more, and then to do a little bit more after that. And then maybe just a little bit more after that, right? In a, kind of a stepping stone kind of model. That's what we need, because if we don't, then it becomes stagnant. And if you have people that just say, oh, I reached this certain plateau and I'm done, I'm never going to move forward anymore, right? No, we need people to stretch. We need people to continue. We need people to kind of make that next move, right? And that will keep the whole thing humming and growing. And it's just awesome, right? Not too hard, but still stretching and continuing, okay? And then, of course, the timing. And you can see the graphic here. There's no better timing. We are literally in the very beginning, in that formulation stage, where this is where millionaires are made. It's where the people that can come in before a company goes into momentum, those first couple of years, right? Where all of a sudden it just goes ballistic, right? Like boom, okay, it hits that nitrous oxide, so kind of goes and goes and goes. But then next thing you know, it's unstoppable, right? And we're almost there. So we have a 5-star opportunity because no other company out there can say they have all 5 of these, right? You might find a company that's super solid and has great leaders. Okay. You might find a company that has amazing products, but their comp plan's terrible. You might find a company that their comp plan's amazing, but their product sucks, right? But guess what? We have all 5. We literally have all 5. It is the most amazing time to be part of what we have, because the growth potential from here on out is just unreal. As we go across the country and then eventually international, we are all sitting in such an amazing position. We have no idea. All right, let's talk about step number 9, being a leader. So if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, yes, you're a leader, of course. John Quincy Adams said that. And so if you're the one, reminding people in your, whether it's a messenger group or a Facebook group or an Instagram group or a text group or whatever it is, you're the one saying, hey, everybody get on the Zoom, or hey, did you guys see that new announcement from Malin? Or hey, did you, right? You're a leader, okay? If you're the one just reacting and just like, oh, somebody else going to remind me if there's a Zoom tonight, and you wait for that, and okay, yeah, there's a Zoom, cool, plug in. Not quite there, right? You got to be the one saying, oh yeah, okay, I'm excited about this, I'm going to share it with my team and everything. But then it goes beyond that, because if you've ever read John Maxwell's 5 Levels of Leadership, it's amazing book. John Maxwell, another mentor that I had the privilege of meeting last September in person. It was awesome. And one of his books, he's written several books, but one of his best books, in my opinion, is The 5 Levels of Leadership. And it really comes down to this, right? The first level of leadership is just positioning. That's where, like, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the supervisor, so you have to do what I say, because if you don't, I fire you, right? And so it's just like, oh, okay, you have rights because you're, a title, right? And that's it. People follow you just because they have to. You don't want that. You want to be at least in the second one. This is where most people start out, right? Is the permission. This is the relationship one. This is the one where you say, hey, you know what, George, I just found this amazing thing that's so cool, and it's going to help people increase their buying power, and it's got this really fun way to earn rewards just for swiping your card and all that. And then George says, hey, that sounds cool. Let's do it, right? Why? Because of the relationship, right? Just friends. You're just friends and you have that relationship, and so they're going to do it. Okay, cool. But then you get to the next level, which is production. Production now is where you actually are having results, right? And you actually can post it maybe on your Facebook, or you talk about it, in a meeting or something. Say, yeah, I'm actually saving all this money every month, and I'm actually making money now, and I just got a check and that kind of stuff. And so people are like, oh, I want to follow them, right? Why? Because they're actually having some results, right? It's like, okay, cool. That's a step up, right? People want to follow you because you're having success. But then the next one, the fourth level, is people development. And this is the key one. This is where we're all trying to get to, where people follow you not because you're having success, but because other people in your group are also having success because of what you taught them, right? So you're creating that duplication, you're creating leaders. And so next thing you know, other people are like, oh man, I want to be, in Jeremy's group, I want to be in Liz's group, I want to be in, Randy's group, I want to be in Eric or whatever, right? I want to be in Linda's group, I want to be in, there's all wow, look at what Rima's doing. Hey, look at what, Tony's doing. Oh my goodness, they're out there doing it and they're having success. I want to follow them. I want to be like them. They're putting their own example, and I would like to be like them and have that success, right? So that is kind of the ultimate goal, the people development. And then of course, the fifth one is the pinnacle. And most of us will not achieve that probably in our lifetimes, right? But pinnacle would be like a John Maxwell, right? Like everybody's heard his name, or a Jim Rohn, or whatever. So there's these top people out there, oh, Eric Worre, yeah, okay, he's at kind of a pinnacle level, right? Because yeah, the respect, okay, of what you've achieved. But for the most part, we're just trying to get to 3 and 4, right? And if we can do that, oh my goodness, we're going to have so much success. It's unbelievable. All right, well, that takes us to the last one. Step 10, the golden rule. So this is where if you do it correctly and you do it consistently and you do it for enough time, you will have success. It's a guarantee. It's a mathematical formula. You will. You just will. Okay. And so if you're not having success yet, it's because number one, either you're not doing it correctly, right? You're not doing all of the previous 9 steps, right? You're either not plugging in, or you haven't learned how to invite yet, or you're not doing personal development or something, right? You're not doing it correctly yet. That's one of the possibilities. Okay. If you're doing all the other 9 steps though, then the next thing that you might not be doing is doing it consistently. You might be plugging in sometimes. You might be inviting sometimes. You might be, doing the personal development sometimes. But if you're doing it correctly, all of them, and you're doing them consistently, then it's just a question of time. That's it. Just giving it enough time, whether that's a few months, a year or two, whatever, you will have success. You will guaranteed be that $1 million person. Okay. As Jim Rohn, again, another Jim Rohn quote, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is just the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. So these 10 steps are the basic fundamentals. If you can go back, if you took notes, great. If you didn't, watch the recording and take notes again. If you will apply these 10 steps, you will be successful. So with that, we're going to call it a night. Thanks so much for jumping on with me. Hopefully that was super helpful for you. It's changed my life. I know it can change your life. Just apply it and watch what happens. All right. Thanks, everybody. And we will talk soon. Take care.